Our next speaker was first elected Illinois Attorney General in 2002 after serving in the Illinois State Senate with then State Senator Barack Obama. She was re-elected by a wide margin in 2006. She's a former teacher, she's a prosecutor, public servant, spouse, and somehow, some way is also able to be a wonderful mother. She has done a great job in her office. Attorney General, please help me welcome Lisa Madigan.
Thank you. Thank you all. Good morning. You all have to listen. I think you need to participate a little more. Let me start by saying thank you to Alan. I think I say this every year, but I think every year it's true. The room gets bigger and bigger. Has it really ever been this far out? Do you remember? Well, I think Alan is doing a great job and deserves a round of hearty applause. But I also think that everybody in this room deserves thanks and deserves our gratitude for the hard work that you do, certainly during elections, but let's be honest, it's all year round. So whenever any of us show up in your county, show up in your community, you are there, and you are there to connect us with the real people who are living in your area so that we can hear about the problems that they're facing, the way that we as elected officials can help. And that is really, I think, one of the most significant roles that you play. Obviously, I wouldn't be the Attorney General, this whole table of people wouldn't be elected officials if you didn't do the hard work of putting up the signs and making the phone calls and making sure all, the stamps get affixed to the envelopes and all the tough door-to-door work that you do. But at the end of the day, you do it because you know that we as Democrats share a mission. We as Democrats are concerned about helping people. We as Democrats are concerned about the rights of people and about making our state, in particular, a better place to live. And I can tell you that, again, because of the work that you do for all of us, but certainly because of the work that you have done for me, I have had the privilege and the opportunity to serve as your Attorney General. And it is a job that many of you have heard I love. And so I am very proud to be able to do that work. And I think here in the state of Illinois, it is an extraordinarily important job right now. As many of the previous speakers have either directly or indirectly talked about, here in the state of Illinois, we do face a number of significant crises. And number one among them is the integrity crisis that we have had to struggle through for really not just this past 6 or 7 months. It's been longer than that. And in the aftermath of the impeachment of former Governor Blagojevich, there is a lot of work that we will have to do, door to door and on the phone, to rebuild the trust of the people of the state of Illinois, the people that we represent. And I can tell you that as the Attorney General, one of the things that I am very proud of is the fact that we worked very hard with the media, with other open government advocates, with the legislature, as well as the Municipal League and others, to finally do a rewrite of our Freedom of Information Act. And the reason that that is significant is that if we hope to have change, if we hope to have reform, if we hope to reestablish our trust with the people of this state, we are going to have a transparent government. We are going to have regular people knowing what is taking place in government. The culture of secrecy has to end, and a culture of openness has to begin. And with the signing of that legislation earlier this week, we now have a foundation, a strong foundation for reform here in the state of Illinois. And so I'm very thankful for that, and there will be a lot more work and training that needs to be done, but we now have a Freedom of Information Act in the state of Illinois that is enforceable, that does have penalties, that will allow people to know what is taking place. I think the second crisis that everybody recognizes that we are facing is one that the entire country faces. It's the economic crisis. It's the recession. It is people losing their jobs. It is people losing their homes. And as the Attorney General, we have been at the forefront, not just in Illinois, but we have been at the forefront nationally of trying to stem the foreclosure crisis. And in doing so, we have tried to hold the lenders and the banks who engage in predatory, unfair, and discriminatory practices accountable. We have sued the largest mortgage lenders in our country, Countrywide and Wells Fargo, for their practices. If you look at the numbers across this country, the number of people who are facing foreclosure, this year we believe as many as 3 million people across this country will receive foreclosure notices. Here in the state of Illinois last year it was almost 100,000. It will be far more this year. There is much work to be done to save people's homes, but also to save our communities, because foreclosures impact all of us. And so one of the things that we have done is to put in place a homeowners helpline. Over the past year, we've gotten over 15,000 calls, people throughout the state of Illinois who need help to stay in their home. We are working to modify their loans, hoping to keep them in their homes. We're actually providing that service today, every day of the fair. So if you're out at the fairgrounds and you've had a few too many corn dogs and funnel cakes, or you've gotten a little nauseous on the rides, we welcome you to our tent for free mortgage counseling. And I also welcome you to our tent for one of these brochures. I'm going to do a little public service announcement. Every cent counts. We put these brochures together to help people who are struggling. And let's face it, everybody has had to tighten their belts. Everybody has had to cut back. People are facing increasing rates on their credit cards, decreasing credit limits. People are looking at a lot of debt. Maybe you are already being called by bill collectors. There is a lot of work to be done, and what this brochure does is it gives you information about how to protect yourself, how to protect your family's income, and how to survive this recession safely and not get scammed. So I could talk all day about the great work that I am able to do as Attorney General, but I think the most important thing to do today is, again, to say thank you to everybody's here, all of the county chairs, all of the precinct committee people, all of organized labor who allow me to serve as the Attorney General and allow a great group of people to serve in elected office. We owe that opportunity to you, and we are very excited that you're here today in what appear to be, to me, ever-growing numbers. And I, for one, have to say, I look forward to going out to the fairgrounds this afternoon. I'm hoping it doesn't rain, but I think it'll be the first time in many, many years that I have been at the Director's Lawn, and I am excited to be out there with you. Thank you all very much.